Is Dan Schneider the real Dirty Dan?
She say nice things about me? Because I will tase her if necessary.
Most people remember that Spongebob episode, Survival of the Idiots, where we get the iconic,
I'm Dirty Dan.
I'm Dirty Dan.
but what if the name Dirty Dan wasn't just a random cartoon gag? What if it was a subtle jab at one of the most powerful and most controversial figures in Nickelodeon history?
Said nice things about you too.
Oh.
That's gonna get on TV.
What?
That's gonna get on TV.
To understand this theory, we gotta rewind and look at the episode itself. It kicks off with SpongeBob and Patrick sprinting to Sandy's house, bouncing off the walls like they just snorted a gallon of sugar. They're hyped to hang out, but when they get there, Sandy's dome is locked up tight with a big metal cover and a keep out sign slapped on it. They find a TV playing a pre-recorded video. Sandy, in full grandma mode, nightgown and all, going feral on acorns and announcing she's hibernating.
Put these on.
Never mind, Pat. Sandy said not to come in. Let's amscray.
SpongeBob wants to dip, but Patrick opens the door anyway, and boom, inside is a literal snowstorm. They ditch their water helmets, cause you know, snow absorbs moisture, and start acting like they're on a winter break bender. But then, they hear something from the treehouse, they go to investigate, and yo, Sandy is huge. She's puffed up from weeks of acorn hoarding, knocked out, and mumbling in her sleep about two outlaws, Dirty Dan and Pinhead Larry. So what do SpongeBob and Patrick do?
I'm Dirty Dan.
I'm gonna catch you and throw you in jail at taxpayers' expense.
Naturally, they start pretending to be the outlaws. The noise wakes Sandy up mid-dream, and she goes full beast mode, like WWE style mid-air wedgies. SpongeBob and Patrick calm her down by sticking belly button lint in her ears. Yes, actual lint from Patrick. It knocks her back out, so they head outside again and start fighting over who gets to be Dirty Dan.
I'm Dirty Dan.
I'm Dirty Dan. No,
I'm Dirty Dan.
I'm Dirty Dan.
All the noise knocks the earmuffs off, and Sandy wakes up again. Patrick snitches, gets bodied. In the end, SpongeBob and Patrick put on Sandy's fur to stay warm, but right after they do, spring arrives and Sandy wakes up. She sees them wearing her fur, gets mad, and ties them to herself as a replacement coat until her fur grows back. Okay, but I know what you're thinking. What does this episode have to do with Dan Schneider?
I write hat of spoons and we get
Had a spoon.
a hat of spoons. This is why I'm in Hollywood.
Yeah. Eat your cereal, kids.
Here's where things get weird. That name, Dirty Dan, didn't stay in Bikini Bottom. Years later, it started resurfacing in a very different context, tied to one man, Dan Schneider.
Hello. Hi.
The controversy started in 2013 when Amanda Bynes, the main star of The Amanda Show, tweeted out accusations of inappropriate behavior and hinted at abuse. At the time, it flew under the radar, but with the rise of the hashtag #MeToo movement, more attention turned to his alleged actions behind the scenes. Then Jeanette McCurdy, Sam from iCarly, released a cryptic video saying,
Hey Dan Schneider, I know you're watching my Vine. Do you like my Vine? Vine. Fine. Fine. Look what you've done to me.
people started digging, and what they found was disturbing. People noticed a creepy pattern. Dan Schneider had a bizarre obsession with feet, especially those of young girls on his shows. Episodes of iCarly, Victorious, Zoe 101, and Drake and Josh all had feet-centric scenes. Carly and Sam write messages on their toes, a webcam foot stream gets broadcast to millions, over and over. Feet. It wasn't just in the shows. Schneider even used the show's official social media accounts to ask young fans, minors, to send in photos of their feet. Let that sink in. This wasn't fan art, it was weird and public.
This better not be on the tube when I get home.
I would not put this on the tube.
It's on the tube. Why would I lose my mind?
You know what's gonna happen if I put this on YouTube.
There were also rumors Schneider had impregnated Jamie Lynn Spears, which some fans speculated was why Zoe 101 got cancelled. While unconfirmed, the rumor wouldn't die. Meanwhile, video clips started surfacing in 2018 of Schneider being way too touchy and creepy around young actresses. That same year, Nickelodeon quietly cut ties with him after an internal investigation. No criminal charges, but the message was clear. Something was off. Former Nickelodeon stars began speaking out more freely. Alexa Nicholas, Jeanette McCurdy, and others described deeply inappropriate behavior from Schneider.
These videos made me so nervous.
Why?
From verbal abuse to crossing physical boundaries, starting when they were as young as 12. Now rewatch Survival of the Idiots with all that in mind. Sandy is asleep, unaware. But the moment Dirty Dan is mentioned, she snaps awake in a violent rage. Like someone who's been messed with and can't stay silent anymore. That's not just a funny moment, it's symbolic. She chases Dirty Dan relentlessly. The same way rumors about Dan Schneider followed him for years before the truth started coming out. He was a ghost people whispered about in hallways until the rage finally surfaced. And remember the part where SpongeBob and Patrick rip off Sandy's fur while she's sleeping? As kids, it seemed funny, but now it feels dark.
Hi, welcome to Night Susie. Today my special guest is the executive producer of the Amanda Show, Dan Schneider.
Hi.
Now you're the executive producer of the show.
Yes, I'm the executive producer and the head writer.
Amanda Bynes and Jeanette McCurdy both describe feeling violated, emotionally and professionally, by someone they trusted. Sandy's fur could represent innocence and safety being stripped away, and that snow? It's cold, numbing, like the silence that surrounded Nickelodeon for so long. Survival of the Idiots aired in 2001. That same year, The Amanda Show was airing. Dan Schneider was rising fast, becoming Nickelodeon's golden boy.
Is it possible for a teenage girl to drink water upside down? I'm thirsty!
Power he had in the network was unmatched. So if you're a SpongeBob writer who sees this guy gaining power and you want to say something but can't do it outright, what do? You make him a villain. You name him Dirty Dan. Think about it. It's not just a coincidence.
I warned you, Dirty Dan. Now you just crossed the border into Hurtville.
This was Steven Hillenburg and his crew. They knew how to layer meaning. They snuck this character in like an inside joke or a warning. Don't sleep on Pinhead Larry either. He's not just a punchline, he's a decoy. Patrick calls himself Dirty Dan, so SpongeBob ends up being Pinhead Larry, a name so goofy it distracts from the real target. It's classic misdirection. Like any conspiracy, there's always a scapegoat. But Sandy doesn't care, she crushes both of them. Because both names represent pieces of the same guilty party.
Remember that episode of iCarly when this British guy came on the show and called everyone a bunch of hobknockers?
I swear you're all just a bunch of hobknockers.
So I looked up what it meant on Urban Dictionary, and what is this?
Look at the trail of stars connected to him. Amanda Bynes, a child star whose mental health decline was very public. Jeanette McCurdy, her book I'm Glad My Mom Died is filled with hints of behind-the-scenes trauma. Alexa Nicholas, openly accused Schneider of emotional abuse. Drake Bell. Do we even need to get into that? All of them were under Dan Schneider's watch. All of them, like Sandy, waking up from a deep sleep and realizing they've been surrounded by a nightmare.
I haven't got my costume on yet. Are we close to rolling?
Sorry, caught Jerry in a bad...
This theory isn't about confirming every detail. It's about recognizing the signs we missed. The episode planted a seed, a weird cowboy name we laughed at as kids, but now it's got a different energy. Dirty Dan was never just a name, it might have been a warning.